I feel bad every single time anyone leaves. Like that's just whether they leave voluntarily or whether I have to let them go, it sucks. But I would also say like it's sort of the norm, right? Like of early teams, first 10 employees, like 5 years in, the chances that you have more than 20% of that team is pretty low. And at Maven, we have roughly 50% of that team about 5 years in, and you know we're lucky, and we put I've grown a lot, and so I kind of am better at both identifying people and also retaining
Mm.
them if they're the right fit. But I'd still say that means 50% of our early team is gone. And actually, if you like look at old offsite pictures of Maven, half the people are gone. Like, and it's normal. So that's probably a broader way of saying not just co-founders. It's anyone you work with. Like, executive coaches, same thing. Like, the number of executive coach relationships that last forever, very, very few, probably less than 10%. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, and then you end up doing a podcast together.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so I love this point too, because I do, work with a lot of founders who, especially the first person they let go, but even the 10th or 100th, there's this incredible amount of fear and tension and guilt, really. This is something I work with founders a lot on, this notion of like the hero move, the like, oh, I feel bad letting them go. I want to sort of save them from that pain. And I think it's really important, one, to recognize if somebody is not a good fit for your team, it's actually a lose-lose. Like you're really not doing them a favor by keeping. I see you nodding, so it's I agree. You're not doing them a favor by keeping them. One, like in all these subtle ways, they will get the message that you don't think they're awesome, and that has a huge effect on their experience and psychology. And two, if they're not in a role where they're thriving, right? If they were thriving, you wouldn't be wanting to let them go. So they're clearly not in a role where they're thriving, and letting them go find a role where they can thrive is I don't want to go so far like it's a gift. Like let's not be empathic and recognize that it is a really scary, sometimes sad, frustrating experience to be let go. So, as a human, we can empathize with that. And it can be a real big blow to our ego. It's like, oh, I thought I was good. I've never had a setback in my life, and now I'm fired. It can be really scary. And, I know so many people for whom it was the best thing that ever happened to them.